All right, so now what we're doing now is we're gonna go ahead and throw some paint on the ground. We are simply just putting marks on the ground of where the new fence line is gonna go, so that way we can go ahead and start drilling. Oh, whoa, it looks like it's gonna be so beautiful. The ground is gonna be just amazing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the ground started amazing and then it really turned to a rocky nightmare. But thankfully I wasn't there to witness this. They're having the time of their life. So typically what we do when we deal with rock is when you're dealing with rocks like this is you have to get the big rock out first so that you can continue to proceed. And hopefully beneath that big rock, there's just smaller rocks. So that way you can continue using the skid steer to drilling that hole for you. And if it's just big rock after big rock, then unfortunately it's getting all the rocks out all by shovel and bar. Like that, shovel and bar. Now this right here is what we really prefer. We prefer a lot more of that, less rock, more dirt. And in this scenario again, what we would resort to if we didn't have such good soil in there, we would resort to the bentonite then and use the bentonite and water trick. But we're not doing that here because there is enough soil in there and it's not a sandy soil. So if we had a sandy soil that had no substance and a lot of rock like you see here, we would resort to the water and the bentonite. So as you can see, what he's doing there is he's going from one hole back to the other while the Kyler there, the old nephew Kyler, yep, while he sits there and gets that rock out. He's giving her the old what for. Oh, and that's a sight to see when the rock takes up the whole entire 12 inches of the hole. Yeah, that's amazing. So I'm sure the whole entire time what really is going through his mind is just, I love my job, I love my job. I can't wait to do this again tomorrow. Really, seriously. And here's this guy carrying all these posts. That is one thing that we make sure to do on every job is as soon as we dig a hole, standard practice for us is to make sure that we put a post in that hole so that way we identify the hole, we identify the hazard, and people that are coming through, just passing through on a job site like this, they don't fall in a hole, break a leg, or get injured. It's just a way that we keep everybody else around us and ourselves safe. I've never fallen in a hole either, I promise, never. Oh, snow in June. So I believe this took place last week of April, and in Wyoming, boy, I tell you, you just gotta put up with the weather. And here, what we're doing now is we're gonna go ahead and pour our concrete, and we are using the wonderful Cement Hog. We're using the 1-yarder version of it. And if you guys have thought about, man, maybe, I just don't know if it's worth the money. Absolutely. We absolutely love the Cement Hogs. We have quite a few of them, and this is the best way to dispense concrete on a large scale commercial project. Each hole is roughly taking, you're getting a 12th of a yard. All right, so now it's time to talk about what we just pulled out of the ground. That looks good, and oh my gosh. I feel sorry for the poor individual that had to clean out the hole to fit all the concrete in there to pull that post out. I mean, do you know how much concrete is probably in that? That thing ate a lot of concrete. Kudos to them for even pulling it out of the ground. Damon there he's going through and he's doing our sighting method, setting all the posts in line, and Almanzo's just gonna sit there and help him and kind of coach him along. Almanzo is one of our lead foremen, so he's more so teaching Damon what's going on and just giving him more of pointers, tips, and tricks. And these guys have just found a way to work smarter and not harder. You got Macho Nacho here. He's carrying 2 sticks of top rail. It must be the mullet that helps him have that special strength. Now Damon, he's just a seasoned pro. Sometimes people do struggle getting the top rail through the barbed wire, but they're able to get it figured out. There we go. One of the things when you are erecting a chain link fence is you want to make sure that all your top rail is 100% tight in every single sleeve and joint. If you are not tight, what can happen is when you put your stretch to your chain link, your top rail can get sucked in, and then all of a sudden you have a gap and your post is being pulled over because you didn't have your top rail tight. So if you could take a note away from any of this, that is one major note. And standard for us in the commercial industry is anything 6 foot and taller is typically getting braced. And hold on, we gotta go back. What did I just witness? This right here, what is this nonsense? Did that really just work? I mean, the hook looks nice. It's not as sharp as if we were to use a truss rod bender, but I can't believe what I just saw. I guess it's another method. I still prefer the truss rod bender though, 100%. Now, if you guys are looking at this funny contraption, you're like, what in the world is that thing? Make sure and see the link below. That is what we call a chain walker. They're wonderful tools, and if you haven't seen one or don't even know what they are, make sure and see the link below. And there we're just making sure that we get all the slack out of the tension wire before we do the final termination. These guys, they like to pull their tension wire through with the chain walk, and then they like to pull their slack back out so that way they make sure to get everything 100% tight and true with the T-handle. Make sure and see the link below if you're looking for something like that. That's the best way to measure some things sometimes, is just to not even use a tape measure and cheat and transfer the mark. And that's exactly what they did there. Working smarter, not harder. Now that all the framework is up, it's time to go ahead and start laying out fabric and start running fabric. 7 foot, 6 foot is a challenge sometimes, even without a fence hog. A 7 foot worse, 8 foot is worse than that, and the taller you get, it only gets worse. By far, we love the fence hog. The fence hog is a wonderful tool. It helps us to dispense a lot more chain link than we ever could possible without it. And 100%, we're gonna say the same thing that we just said with the cement hog. If you guys are sitting there questioning, oh, is it worth, you know, that's a chunk of change. Is it really worth it? Absolutely, 100%. If you're doing a lot of chain link and you're not sure if it's worth the cost, I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's worth every penny. It's a back saver, and it helps you dispense more chain link than you can ever put up by hand. Damon right there, he's going through and he's just making sure that the chain link's not gonna fall over while Almanzo's dispensing it. Another thing that you can do, we don't have them, we didn't use them in the video, but you can use a banana clip. A banana clip is going to take place of what Damon just did and preventing the chain link from falling over. Now, what would you all say if I just said that Bobcat is the only way to go? I mean, I'm not ready to take on a whole bunch of trash comments, but maybe I am. Maybe I am. What are you guys using for a skid steer? If you're watching this and you guys do have a skid steer, what's your go-to? I'm interested for your opinion. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you right now that Bobcat is the coolest because Bobcat's the only one you can use a remote on. Now here there is a standard in our company, and if there is barbed wire, if there's gonna be barbed wire on the top of the fence, we do knuckle on top and barbed wire on top of that and twist down. If there is no barbed wire, knuckle goes down, twist goes up. And just continuing to run out some more of the chain link fence. They run it out, and then occasionally, I think at about 200 foot intervals, they go ahead and pull the stretcher bar out of the fence hog there, and they put some stretch to it. Again, no tool required because the stretcher's built right into the fence hog. Another reason that attachment is so is so unique and so awesome. Just like that. The biggest thing that you gotta do is you gotta make sure that you are in one straw, so that way you're in the same straw from top to bottom, so that way you don't cause any damage to the chain link. And you shake the fence out as the operator of the machine applies pressure and starts stretching the chain link fence just by driving the machine forward. The reason that they're doing that is they're just trying to make sure that it's not getting hooked on any rocks, and if it is, that they go ahead and shake it out so that way they shake out the slack. They're looking for that ultimate stretch, and that is the way that we test, just right there. Oh, the easy twist tie. Just look at how easy this is. It's so painful to watch somebody take a pair of 9s and tie a tie anymore. I can't do it. These are the most secure way and the fastest way to tie a fence possible. Sure, you can go ahead and say that I've seen them out there. You know, I could tie ties faster than you can use that drill. Okay. Next subject. Tying chain link for us, we usually have a guy on each side of the fence. One guy holds the chain link up and lifts it in place and stuffs the tie while the other person goes ahead and ties the tie. Now, a lot of the times we'll cut out that second guy, and what we'll implement there is we'll use the top rail dressing tool to pull the chain link up and hold it for us. Make sure and see the link below for that. And we do offer it in 2 different sizes. We offer it in 2-inch diamond, and we offer it in tennis court mesh. What you didn't see is previous to them tying the top rail is somebody went through and they dressed out the whole entire fence to make sure that it flows really nice and everything is it looks really nice and flows great, and it doesn't look like a dinosaur's back, but where it's going up and down and kind of looks like the peak of that mountain in the background. And there's Kyler. He's doing the hog ring. He must have drawn the short stick. So the hog ring, it does get put in a certain spot. Its spacing is the same as a top rail tie, and it goes up to the first full diamond on the bottom of the fence. And for hog ring pliers, we offer 2 different sizes. I don't recommend the first size that we have, the little short stubby set. I would offer the 6-inch handles. Those are really nice and the only thing that I prefer between 11 gauge and 9 gauge hog ring. Fun times, let's get ready for some barbed wire. I can already start to see the bloodshed. Just kidding, that's only with razor wire. So here what we're doing is we're gonna go ahead and tie off all 3 strands because we're gonna use the barbed wire hog, again made by Easy Grout. When it involves chain link fence, if it's not orange, it's not cool. And there's that trick again where we're using the chain walker and the T-handle right after we pull it tight, so that way we make sure and pull all the slack out of the barbed wire. One thing you'd want to make sure not to do when you're applying pressure from a chain walker or any sort of stretcher to a stretch of barbed wire is you don't want to put your clamping device right on the barbed wire itself, or the barb, the stingers of the barb. What the heck are we gonna call that? The pokey thingies, the barb of the barbed wire, the barb. Brain fart. So you don't want to put the clampy device on the barb of the barbed wire, because what you can actually do is you can cause, you can score the barbed wire there and end up breaking the barbed wire. So you want to be very careful where you put that. And that's usually where we put it, is in between the 2 barbs, and try to stretch it right there. Ah, yes, the good old barbed wire snapper inner tool. What a wonderful tool that is. Make sure and see the link below. If you think this is awesome, and you're like, oh, that could save me so much time. Yeah, you probably need one. Make sure and see the link below. He makes it look so easy. Part of it is his height. I mean, he's not short by any means. I think he's 6 foot something. That sounds like a good country song. 6 foot something. Oh, he was 6 foot something. It's time to load some more barbed wire. Oh, it's time to thread some more barbed wire through the barbed wire hog. It all does have a certain way it has to run. when we do a tie off, we make sure to go ahead and remove the barbs, or the first 2 barbs, so that way we can run the barbed wire through the brace band and get a good tie off point. And to remove the barbed wire, you can either unwind it, or you can take a pair of nippets, or a pair of Klein dikes, or a pair of Nip-X. You got Nippets and Nip-X cutters. We recommend both. We sell both, we recommend both. Make sure and see the links below. Your Nip-X are gonna be a lot harder, and they're gonna come into play a lot better for high tensile cutting, but they still work just fine on barbed wire. So now what they're gonna do with the barbed wire hog is they're gonna run out about 3 to 4 sections, 30 to 40 feet, wait until they can see that the tension has become even. They're gonna pinch the rollers together to apply the pressure back to the barbed wire. They're running all 3 strands out at once. Back in the day, it was strand by strand, step by step, cut by cut, as you hold the barbed wire in your hand walking down the fence line. And, oh, again, if it's not orange, it's not cool. There's a lot less bloodshed now that we have a barbed wire hog. If you're as strong as an ox, you definitely don't need a barbed wire snapper inner tool. I don't think he's Chuck Norris's twin, but could be like his grandson. All right, that's it for the chain link fence. Just kidding, it's time for the slats. So here we are having the time of our life. Yay! They're just saying that they love it. They wish they could do some more. I think they have about like 360 feet of fence to install the slats. Now these slats, they are 95%. Typically what we would do with something like this is we would order the chain link pre-slatted, but because of the timeline that we were looking at, and they really wanted to get the fence up and replaced, due to the rodeo starting, is we didn't have that time, so therefore we have to stuff them ourselves. But that is an option if you're looking for that kind of a high privacy with a slat. You can definitely look into getting pre-slatted. It's just how much time do you have for lead time. So this particular slat, like I said, it was a 95% or 95-98%. It's a high privacy slat, and the locking device goes in at the very top, or if you put the slat in opposite, your locking device is going to go in at the very bottom. And sometimes they go in really easy, and sometimes they just go in really, really hard. And absolutely, you are 100% correct. It is easier to install the slats before the barbed wire is up, but again, we didn't have that option. It was all about lack of time, and we needed to get the fence up, and we just had to, this is the way it had to be done because the fence had to get up, so that way they could start their rodeo season and get rodeos underway. Now, if you guys think that this looks like a ton of fun, make sure to pick up a bag yourself, and you can do it. You can do it yourself. It's so much fun. Misery loves company, and you guys, it's so easy. You should just do it as a hobby. Maybe the next time we have to do slats, we can invite you along. See how easy they make it look? Just, it's really fun. It's kind of like Tetris. It's so much fun. You've never had so much fun in your life, I promise. See, they're just waving them in the air, and see how much fun they're having? All right, guys, if you guys want to see how to build commercial grade chain link fence, make sure and see that video right here. And if you are in need of a panic bar for means of egress for a commercial grade fence, make sure and see how to install a panic bar on this video right here. It's Dan with SWI. We are Wyoming's Fence Company, and we hope you have a good dang day.